Welcome to our Mind the Moment's Thursday morning session and gathering brought to you by Harvard Pilgrim Healthcare and Tufts Health Plan. This is a place where we invite experienced mindfulness instructors to speak with us about what mindfulness means to them and to discuss as a community how we can incorporate these practices into our daily lives. I'm Suzanne Rowe Palacino, and as always, so happy to be here with Tara Healey, founder and director of Harvard Pilgrim Healthcare's mindfulness program. Good morning, Tara.
Good morning, Suzanne, and I am so happy to be here. Good morning, everyone. Great to see you joining.
Yeah, wonderful to have you here this morning. And we'll start off with a question for the group, as we always do.
Yep.
And then Tara will lead us in a guided practice. And after that, we'll have time for any questions you might have or just discussion or any comments, whatever is coming through to you after your practice, just any opportunity to share. So if you would like to go to the bottom of your screen and open up the chat. And when you open that up, you can click the blue drop-down menu and click on everyone. And then your comments, and you'll get to see everyone else's comments as they come in. And as a reminder, and I'll do my quick share of what's going on with the month of May. And as we've mentioned, the month of May is Mental Health Awareness Month. And we're doing a number of different things during the month. But the key is this website, point32health.org/Peak Mind Challenge will give you everything you need to have for this particular month. We have the challenge that's kicking off on the 12th of May, and that's a week from today. And we'll have, at noontime, we'll release a video, 12-minute video, 12 at 12. And that will be released every day from the 16th to the 10th. So you have an opportunity to take a look at that video and to practice for 12 minutes at any point during the day. And those videos will be posted as well. So you can, if you miss a day, you can go ahead and go back to them. And then the second thing is the series that's happening every Wednesday. We kicked that off yesterday, and that was with John Roberts and Tara. Just a live webinar from 1 to 1:30. So some great opportunities to support our practice. All right, so with that, Tara, what questions?
Yes.
This morning for
So, as I was thinking about the question, part of what came to mind for me is, that mindfulness and mindfulness meditation has really increased exponentially in the past 10 years, and really, especially even more so in the past 5 years. So there are a lot of people that are new to these practices. And I started to think about what, as you think about your practice, what has surprised you most? So whether you're brand new and you're just starting meditation or you've been at it for a while, what has most surprised you about meditation and a meditation practice? And Suzanne, we'll start with you, and then I'll say a little bit too while folks are thinking about that.
Yeah, so Tara and I were discussing this a little bit earlier, and there's a number of things that have surprised me, but one that's kind of interesting is when I started meditation, I always would join a guided meditation, and I felt like I'm going to need this guidance throughout. I can't see myself sitting here in the quiet by myself, but I really now enjoy having sitting by myself or with a group in silence. So it's just something that that transitioned for me.
So I think what surprised me most is that I was learning about the nature of not only my own mind, but everybody's mind, and that everybody had a really busy mind. Because I think, and I even hear it in teaching, that people will often say, oh, I can't do this. My mind is just so busy. Thinking as if somehow they're unique in that, but this is the nature of the mind, is busyness. And so the content and the stories are different because our life stories are different. But I think that I wasn't alone in the busyness, that this was just the nature of mind in general. And actually, I feel like it brought it sort of brought a level of compassion for humanity that, I mean, I've always been a compassionate person, but this even increased it. But the other thing too, is that I also learned that I didn't have to believe everything I thought. So those were some things that really struck me early on in my practice, is just the busyness, the nature of the mind is busy, and that we're not trying to control or stop thought. We're actually trying to learn. We're gaining self-understanding by seeing the particular content of our own minds.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I like the fact which you brought up about not everything in that our mind conjures is
it's
something we need to
true.
believe.
It's true. Not, I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, we don't have to believe everything we think. We get a kind of perspective through this practice that, wow, there's a lot coming in. Okay. How much more settled my mind becomes if practice regularly. Yeah. And all the neuroscientists will always point to consistency over time, especially when you're first beginning. Consistency over time is really, really valuable. And, you know, the thing is too, with this practice, we don't have to try to be more easeful or settled. Those are in fact just byproducts anyway, but the capacity to allow for the unsettledness and bring a lens of curiosity to it, to see, physically, you know, anxiety is present, come out of the narrative and feel the physicality of it, just feel it. And that in and of itself is what helps the body regulate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Discipline.
Susan's mentioned that she's felt like she can practice on her own, which is,
Yeah.
sometimes we need a little assistance, but
Yeah.
sometimes
How
it's,
different it is each time. And that's such a significant learning, because I think, you know, we can judge our practices as good or bad, but they're all what they are. You know, some are harder than others, but always different. And how healing, yeah. But even long-term consistency every time can be different. Yes, yes, yep. And healing for the mind and the body. Yeah, I feel like, honestly, like our body and mind thank us in certain ways, that, you know, it's such a care. It's like we're taking care, and everyone benefits from that.
yeah. And I agree that these practices are so helpful just when we're not sitting meditation. You know, like
Yes.
when you're talking about the things in your mind, when your mind can just kind of go through into a spiral, you kind of think, wait a minute, what? You can stop yourself during your regular day and say, wait a minute. You know,
Yes, yes.
take a breath. That's not really the case. Yeah.
And the regularity of practice helps you catch those moments, right? So throughout the day. So the idea is that we don't practice so that we're getting clarity and insight just during our formal practice. We're employing that concentrated, mindful awareness in the service of day-to-day life, you know. So I'm surprised by how completely changed my view of just about everything. Insight into the busy mind and thoughts, humbling, yes, and carry that awareness and humility as I engage in the world. Beautifully stated. Yes, yeah, that's exactly.
And Teresa mentioning it helps me respond rather than react.
Yeah.
That's such a big part.
Yeah. Thank you all for just sharing the impact and what surprised you and what you're carrying into your the routine of your days. That, you know, it's just like exercise. You formally do it, you know, and then the idea is you want to bring that strength and flexibility into use as you live your day. I'm learning to play the guitar, and I find that the practice is really important, so that when I can take it out and play in front of very few people, that the practice has mattered. So the practice and my ability to play is proportional, and I'm really starting to see that, you know. And that's true with meditation. That's true with exercise. That's true with like anything that we learn. So
Mhm.
on that note,
Mhm.
let's go ahead and start, and we'll do about 12 minutes. So in this spirit of Dr. Amishi Jha, um, coming as a guest next Thursday, we are super excited about the Peak Mind Challenge, and we've been focusing most of our meditations on 12 minutes. So let's go ahead and get started. Yeah, and feel free to sit or stand. You want to, what's going to best serve you this morning, eyes open or closed. And let's just start on our own. Take 2 deep breaths. See if you can make that exhalation longer than the inhalation to just help stimulate the parasympathetic nervous system. So go ahead and take a couple deep breaths. And see if you can surrender your support into the support of the surface that you're on, and know that the earth below you is able to hold you. You can really surrender your weight in, yet maintain a spine that is straight but not stiff, allowing the body to soften around the spine that is holding you upright, keeping you engaged. Just notice the body, anything that's particularly calling out to you. It could be a sensation. Um, and see if you can soften any areas of the body that you might more traditionally hold. So, jaw and shoulders, the hands. And just noticing the points of contact with the back of the body and the surface. What does that feel like as you're sitting or standing? And take a moment to just broaden the awareness out to include sound in the room or outside of the room. So just noting hearing. And allowing sound to remain in the background as it will. Beginning to bring awareness back inward to the body. And let's go ahead and find an anchor for the wandering mind. And now you have a few options. That could be breath sensation. Wherever in your body the inhalation and exhalation is most noticeable. It can vary from day to day. It could be that you notice the rise and fall of the kind of belly, abdomen, could be the area around the chest. Some people feel the air entering and leaving the nostrils. It could also be somewhere else in the body. So as you breathe in and breathe out, taking a moment to notice where is it most pronounced so that your attention can track the inhale and the exhale, knowing that it's going to leave as soon as you see it, not a problem. Just thinking, soften the body, and then return to that anchor. Alternately, if breath is difficult for you this morning, you could use sound. If there's a consistent sound in the background, or another body sensation. So could be the palms of the hands resting on your thighs or on a table in front of you. It could be a point of contact along the back of the body and the surface that you're on, whether that's the soles of the feet or another part of the body. So connecting in with what you'll select as your anchor for this practice. Noticing where the mind is. Soft mental note, thinking, or you could be more specific. Soften the body and return. And noticing where the mind is. Softening the body, returning to your anchor. Noticing where the mind is, releasing thought, softening the body, and returning to your anchor. And as we bring this meditation to a close, may we be peaceful and at ease. May our heart be soft and open. May we be safe and protected, and our body healthy and strong. May the merit of our practice be for the benefit of all beings. As you feel ready, if your eyes were closed, go ahead and slowly open. And I always think it's helpful to just kind of take a moment to reconnect with the room that you're in, perhaps do a little bit of a stretch.
Thank you so much, Tara.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks to everybody. And as always, if anybody has a comment or a question, anything related to Dr. Amishi Jha coming next week on Thursday, one of the things, and tell friends and family, she's really quite compelling. And we probably will have her start with, rather than offering a question out to the group, Suzanne and I will offer a question to Amishi, and then you'll have opportunity to ask questions as well.
Yeah, and I thought it helpful just to reiterate, Tara, what you had mentioned earlier, that if you're starting a new practice this month or recommitting to an old practice, that 12 minutes is kind of that minimum amount of time that her research has confirmed that there's noticeable change made to the brain, but that doesn't mean that you need to start off with 12 minutes.
Right. Good point. Yes.
That you don't get too caught up with that especially if you're new to the practice, that anytime, like Tara mentioned, consistency is more important than the length of time when you first start. So whatever time that you can commit is good.
Yeah. And I think, if you're newer to practice, or even like as Suzanne said, recommitting, I think sitting with ourselves in this way can be kind of jarring. And so I often will say 3 to 5 minutes just to gain some comfort with the discomfort of this practice initially. At least initially there's discomfort. And so just 3 to 4 to 5 minutes on a consistent basis, daily or daily-ish, is a really good way to start. And then you can build over time. But even if you only have 2 or 3 minutes in a particular day, that is worth it to use toward practice. It all matters. It all matters. Yeah.
Yeah. And, you know, as we mentioned, those videos that will be released every day after the 12th, you can watch them anytime. And, you know, you can even do 2 in a day if that's something that
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
Maybe part of that is helping you determine, okay, well, maybe I'll do 1 in the morning, and then tomorrow I'll do 1 in the evening, and figure out what time
Yeah.
works best in your schedule.
Yes. Because time of day, it doesn't matter. What matters is what's going to work best for you. Yeah.
For sure. Well, thank you, Tara. Thanks
You're
for leading
welcome.
us in
Thanks,
this practice.
everybody.
And, you know, it's just nice to be back with the group. And one thing to mention as well, as I was showing the slide earlier, that when you go to that Peak Mind, the Point 32 Health website, and just here as well, is if you want to take your phone right now and go ahead and just put your camera up to that QR code, it'll automatically launch the website, just so you have that. But the Wednesday, right now, we're in the midst of changing the website, but right now the Wednesday sessions, there's a link for the Wednesday session that just says it's for the 18th, but it's actually for every Wednesday.
Yeah, it's the same, right? Thanks, Suzanne.
Yeah, and I'll share, if you want to go ahead and I'll share this link. There's the link for the Wednesdays, so you could just click on that and copy and paste it for every Wednesday at 1 o'clock, and then you'll have the link for that. So just to make sure everybody has what they need to join our group.
Yes.
Okay, so that's it for today. So nice to have you here with us and to practice with you, and to continue to support one another during this time of you know, Focus on Mental Health Month. So we're happy to have you here, and we'll be here next Tuesday, this coming Tuesday, with Christine O'Shaughnessy.
Great.
Okay. See you soon.
Have a good weekend, everybody.
Have a wonderful
Bye.
weekend. See you soon.